Hello. My name is Kyle Ruddick. I'm director and founder of a project called One Day on Earth. And today I'd like to talk to you about my belief in the power of online communities to do things in the physical world never before possible. I'm speaking from personal experience and based on an idea I had back in 2008 while I was attending a world music concert. Bands from different parts of the world came together on stage who had never met, and had never played before, and they didn't speak the same language. And within a few minutes, they came together to make a fusion of beautiful music. And at that moment, I had an idea to do something similar for cinema, and that idea was One Day on Earth. The premise of the concept was as many people across the world as possible, if possible in every country in the world, people would film their experiences during one day and share those experiences together and create a film and archive of One Day on Earth. Fast forward a couple years later, in October of last year, we actually accomplished our first filming event, and we did film in every country in the world. We amassed over 3,000 hours of footage, and we're nearing completion of our first feature film. It was a really challenging task to do, and a lot of people have asked me, how did this come to fruition? How did this happen? So I tried today to identify 4 things that I think made the project possible. First was a simple big idea. Second was the venue and space we created for collaboration, the determination to achieve this idea, and last but not least was that we always focused on creating a community and movement. So, simple big idea. One Day on Earth is the idea that as many people as possible would film during one day and collectively create a picture of all of humanity. So that's easy to say, so that was off to a good start. But I had to pick a filming date. When were we going to do this? And I chose October 10th, 2010, or 10-10-10. The reason I did this was because it's a blank slate holiday, that people will remember it, but they would make it their own. So for this reason, I felt it was right for a participatory media event. The next thing I did is I created a website that people could sign up to, and I emailed people around the world, and we had in 9 months, 600 people in 140 countries. But we needed to take it further and communicate the idea further, so we pulled all our footage together, and we created a trailer for the film before the film. And I think it does an excellent job and was really important to the process, and I'd love to share that trailer with you now.
Everyone should participate in One Day on Earth because we are attempting to create a voice of the world. If you believe in something, if you have one message you could put in the world's time capsule, one story that you can put in the record of history, we hope that you will be inspired and really go out and find it and put it in the capsule, put it in a document, put it in our film. On October 10th, 2010, participants from every country in the world will collectively film the 24-hour period. We ask that you be one of them. Please sign up to participate at www.onedayonearth.org.
So that did a great job inspiring people to participate in the project, but we still needed to create a space for them to collaborate in. And when we started thinking about the philosophy behind this space, we really wanted to move beyond the idea of crowdsourcing. Who in this room wants to be part of a crowdsource? No one, right? So we had to think about things as community produced, which I think is a much stronger idea. We never, when people are motivated to do this idea, we never wanted to be a contest because contests create losers. And in addition to that, there's a lot of professionals that were inspired to participate in this project and contribute to that world picture who wouldn't have otherwise if it was a contest. So we set forth to create a social network with a specific purpose as our venue. And back in 2008 when I had the idea, this was probably the scariest part of it, which was how we were going to achieve that. Fortunately, as time went on, we were able to utilize a lot of available technology and really glue things together with a few custom applications. I won't belabor the point of this chart too much, but in essence, utilizing the Ning network and Vimeo video services, we were able to make sure that everyone who participated in the project immediately had their video uploaded and hosted by Vimeo, and it would show up on their own personal page on the One Day on Earth website. In turn, all the data that came with that video when they uploaded it, all the description and all the things that were filled out upon upload could be managed and corrected through a content management tool, and that information could be exported to an edit bay where we could start post-production. In addition, all of that information was made public through a geotagged archive map. So I'd like to share some of that user experience with you. This is the front page of onedayonearth.org, and I think one of our biggest features is that geotagged map, and I'd like to go into a little bit of detail about it. As I said, this is the archive from 10-10-10. So every little orange dot on that map is a video entry, and the green dots, you have to get closer before you can see all the entries. It's searchable by keyword, by tag, and by cause, and if you participated in a project, you can actually download each other's videos for non-commercial use if you want to create your own picture of One Day on Earth. So more than just a real great gallery to look at footage and see what people did, this eventually became also a portal for our community. Because every video entry, if you click through, you can actually meet, get to know the filmmaker. Well, that's not the filmmaker that created the Galapagos footage, but every filmmaker has their own profile page, similar to that of Facebook, but focused on one day of media creation. And this allowed for open access and a direct way for people who contributed to the project to be recognized for it. With all that great technology, there was no shortage of determination to achieve the idea that we would be in every country in the world. I know personally I had about 12 gigabytes of email on 10-10-10. I've been working 70-hour work weeks. We had about 100 volunteers come through our doors up to that event. And I think the main reason that it was so much work is that online communities happen to be people too. I mean, think about it. You want someone to do something in the physical world. It's not the technology that's going to get them to do it. It's the engagement and it's the hands-on accessibility that's going to get them there. So, we had been working incredibly hard, and we were leading up to 10-10-10. We had a great idea, we had a venue, we were really determined, and there was an unexpected milestone in the project that came from a video sent to us from a young man in South Africa by the name of Michael Sturwig. And Michael was the moment that I felt that we finally had a community, that we had completed a feedback loop, essentially. And Michael had taken my idea and made it his own, and that's what this was all about. So I'd like to share with you that video.
We all have our stories to tell. Look at me. I'm mostly shy and quiet. Often I prefer being alone, completely captured in a world of imagination and ideas. I laugh, I think, I cry. As an African, I fear our land. Corruption, hatred, anger, they are rife here, carried through generations of violence and discrimination. Sometimes people forget we are free. Oh, I have stories to tell. South Africa has stories to tell. We all have our own story. Things happen, memories are created. Imagine looking back at the world 100 years from now. Culture, technology, and society will have changed. But the human spirit, will it have changed? but we as people have lost the very thing that makes us human. I can't answer that. That's a story for another world. I'm Michael Stribich, and I'm an African. What's your story?
So at that moment, I knew we were okay because that was unsolicited. And so today, this is a visualization of the current One Day on Earth community. There are over 17,000 people on that map, and growing as we head towards 11-11-11. It's open for anyone who can tell us, who wants to tell a story, to participate, and I think that's just about everyone. But we found that our community consists primarily of filmmakers, educators who have been given access to the project via educational toolkits we created to allow One Day on Earth to be taught as part of a class. And last but not least, nonprofits, which have used One Day on Earth as a sounding board to inspire media creation for their cause. So I think one of the reasons that we are so successful is that many people in our community think of media creation as a donation. When Michael Sturwick filmed on 10-10-10, he chose to film the subject of climate change. And we spent a lot of time connecting filmmakers with nonprofit causes and the supporters of nonprofit causes with the idea of filmmaking. This has proven so successful, in fact, that we have over 60 partnerships across the world, including the United Nations, the Red Cross, Human Rights Watch, and WWF. In fact, the United Nations has agreed to film with us until 2015. I just want to take a moment to share how much gratitude I have for all the people all over the world who have helped this project along. It certainly wasn't just me. And as we head towards 11-11-11, I hope people in this room could be inspired to go out and tell a story that they find important and share it. As our project grows, it will only have more diversity, more scope, and more impact. And I really think that, it's important for humanity to understand itself better. And that is the focus of this project. So thank you so much for your time. And without further ado, I'd like to share the first motion picture trailer, real motion picture trailer from 10-10-10, created by a community of people across the world that believe that we can create something that was never before possible. Thank you very much.
It's as though you were standing outside the universe looking in. We're not just a speck here. We're not even a speck in a speck. Okay, we're a speck in a speck in a speck.
May the 7,000 actions of our brothers and sisters from around the globe on the most widespread day of environmental action in the planet's history make a significant difference.
One community trying to exist apart from all other communities is not in any way acknowledging the entirety of existence and how it depends, everything depends on everything.
All these, I think thousands of different minds, different views, different thoughts interconnected.